Hello, everyone, and welcome to the November 18th, 2015 episode of Balls Deep Sports Talk. I am your host, Scotty Ball. Thank you so much for tuning in to the program. And holy guacamole, have we got a whopper of a show for you this week. Only fitting, of course, because after all, if you are counting, this is our 40th, that is right, 40th episode of the show. So, pat on the back to myself and Adam at WNLMradio.com, and also you, my weekly Balls Deep goers, my Balls Deep army. You guys make this possible. The numbers have grown so much from 40 episodes ago when we started to where we're at now, being in somewhere in the double digits is all we'll say when we started. And we are, we're pretty consistent here now with total listens throughout a whole week of being in the 4 digits. It's been that way here for several weeks now. So again, I can't thank you guys enough for making this show click, a hit, if we dare call it that yet. But I sure have a lot of fun doing it, and I hope you have half as much fun listening to it. We have so many topics to discuss on the show tonight. Let's give you the overview first here, just to give you an idea of the many things we're going to be discussing. Then we'll get our show news and plugs out of the way before we kick things off with our opening segment. So for the overview on tonight's show, currently all kinds of things in the world of sports going on. College basketball just started, so some people are really excited about that. College football winding down the end of its regular season, games getting super meaningful every week, and it just continues to be a wonderful college football season to watch. We've also, of course, got plenty of NFL football season as we are now in the second half of the NFL regular season. Teams trying to separate, make those playoff pushes, other teams trying to get things turned around before it's not too late, or perhaps there's a team out there who's already looked at the record and went, yep, let's mail it in, try to look like you're trying, but but don't try so hard that we actually win. We want better draft picks. But so we got plenty of NFL football to discuss, especially involving my and possibly your first place Minnesota Vikings. Can't freaking believe it. Vikings a game up on the Packers for first place in the NFC North. And who do you think plays who this week in the NFL? None other than the Packers, coming to the better, greater state of Minnesota and taking on our first place Minnesota Vikings. So plenty of thoughts and feelings to get to regarding the Minnesota Vikings. We will also have baseball to discuss, as baseball it just wrapped up day 3 of its 4-day Baseball Writers Awards, where they give out the main awards of the year. They give out the Manager of the Year award for American League and National League, Rookie of the Year awards for each league. Tonight was the Cy Young Awards for each league, which I watched on Major League Baseball Network. And then tomorrow night we'll conclude the 4-day event with the MVPs of each league. So I will get you caught up on who won the awards that have been given out here in the first 3 days of the 4, and who remains yet in the MVP race that will be voted on and determined tomorrow night. And I will let you know what order I would rank the top 3 final contestants. Also, maybe just a little bit of baseball off-season news as well, if we can work that in there. We'll definitely be talking a little bit of hockey, getting you caught up on where things are with the Wild, as well as trying to take a quick look around the league and give you an idea of, where everything is at. We'll also be doing the same in the NBA, maybe in a little bit greater detail. Some NBA news regarding. Sweet, was that just over 5 minutes in my first flub up? Dang it! I had the under, but anyway, there was a huge firing announced today regarding a team's head coach in the NBA. So you will be getting that news as well as my take on it. We'll be going around the league, and also we will be discussing my and possibly your Minnesota Timberwolves, who are playing tonight. I am watching them as we speak. They are in Orlando playing the Magic, who, if you caught the NBA season preview extravaganza episode, you will know that I picked the Orlando Magic to finish with the worst record in all of basketball at the end of this season. So needless to say, I expect my Timberwolves to win this game tonight, especially considering they have the second best road record in all of the NBA at 5-1. Their home record, that is a different story, and we will discuss that as well when we get to basketball talk. But so yeah, there we are. T-Wolves close out the first quarter up 25-17. Good work, guys. Keep that going. Let's see, we make that for 4 quarters. That's 8 times 4. That'd be a 32-point win. We just do that quarter 3 more times. Easy peasy. All right. What else do we got? Hockey, basketball, baseball. Ooh, we'll be throwing in a little bit of high school sports, as the Minnesota Prep Bowl took place this past weekend. Normally, it takes place Thanksgiving weekend, but due to scheduling conflicts with the Gophers and the Vikings coming up in the next 2 weeks, needing to use TCF Stadium, the high school Prep Bowl for this year had to be moved to this past weekend. So we will be discussing that as well, because I gotta give props out to all the participants, winners and losers, in the Prep Bowl. One of my best memories that is sports related, period. Maybe not necessarily the best, but definitely one of the best. Meeting Kirby Puckett, wearing Al Newman's World Series ring for over an hour while I rocked out at a concert. I got some pretty good sports related memories, but playing in the Metrodome in the Prep Bowl my senior year in high school is definitely one of my most cherished sports memories of any kind. And so, like I said, that did take place this last weekend, and I will be giving you the results of who won and who lost all those games. We've also got NASCAR to discuss, as last week's races determined the Final Four. Now, in the chase, for the Cup, I believe we are down to the final race as well, coming up this Sunday, I believe. Maybe Saturday, but you would definitely think it would be Sunday. But so we will be trying to get you, are you ready for it, everyone? Up to speed, on where things are at with the NASCAR season, what you need to know heading into this final race, which will determine your Cup champion for the year. Also, of course, I don't know how I didn't mention this way earlier, we'll be discussing UFC 193 and everything that took place in all the fights on the card this last Saturday, held down in Melbourne, Australia. Lots to discuss there. If you haven't heard, just stay tuned. It won't take long. And we'll also be discussing, as we try to every week, and especially this week, the week before and after a pay-per-view, we will be talking WWE Pro Wrestling sports entertainment. That is right, we have the Survivor Series pay-per-view coming up this Sunday, so we got to go over the match card, at least let you know who's fighting who, maybe give you some quick picks. We've also got, and also things to look out for at, any old pay-per-view. But we've also got a really hot, controversial Raw main event that took place this week, 2 nights ago. As I'm recording this, 2 nights ago, on Monday Night Raw, involving the Divas division. 2 divas in particular, Charlotte and Paige. Very, it was controversial before the segment even started, and I was going to talk about it before it even started. I'll tell you why when we get there. But so there's also Raw news to discuss in WWE, as well as, like I said, getting you squared away for the pay-per-view this coming Sunday. Best Sunday of every month, in my opinion, bar none, when the Vikings are playing and whatever your NFL team is, when the NFL is on Sundays, on a Sunday, and the WWE has a pay-per-view on that Sunday. Those are the best Sundays of the month, of the year. Let's see, we could go September, October, November, December, January, maybe February. So 5 months for sure, maybe 6 months out of the year we get that. Best Sundays you can possibly get. And then also a little bit of sad news regarding a passing of an all-time wrestling legend as well. But so yeah, that's... Holy moly, that's the overview of the show here that we've, and that wasn't even too terribly specific. So, like I said, holy guacamole, we got a lot to talk about here. So, let's get the, show news and shameless plugs out of the way here, and then dive into our first topic. Alright, so, show-related news for this week. Well, there's some big show news, actually, a big change. We have dabbled the past couple weeks and on and off here over the last month or two with airing the show on Thursday nights on WNLMradio.com, the origin internet radio website for the show, that we made our debut on. That's the reason we started doing this and we exist here in the first place. But due to the overwhelming success and the convincing numbers, we are going to be airing the show no longer on Wednesday nights at 9-ish 9 p.m.-ish Central Standard Time on WNLM Radio. No, the new weekly airtime that Balls Deep Sports Talk will be debuting and airing on WNLMradio.com is going to be 7 p.m. Central Standard Time every Thursday night. Now, that's just a change for you. I think we all feel the not necessarily so much the day of the week, but being able to give it to you at 7 o'clock in the evening as opposed to 9 in the evening or later is it's better for everybody. That being said, I am not going to try to change much at all yet about how I am doing the show on a weekly basis. I am still going to do all my research Thursday through Wednesday afternoon, and then sometime Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, I am going to sit down and record the show like I do now, like I have always done. And so, that being said, once the show is done being recorded on Wednesday nights, I do go and upload that to, the big intranet or whatever. But so, if you don't want to wait to go balls deep until Thursday night on WNLMradio.com.